Alright guys, so I'm Brennan. This is my 2015 Fiesta ST. I do autocross with it. I've put a lot of miles on it within a year. Not too many modifications, just some tires and an air filter, and I love this thing, guys. It's a pretty awesome car.
Alright, we're trying something a little different today too. He's crazy enough to let me drive it, so I'm going to be asking him questions as we're driving it. Then he's going to let me take it out on the autocross track where I'm going to try to get some sweet tripod action.
Lots of tripod action. It'll definitely do it for you. It'll cock that wheel and piss on any cone you want it to. I guarantee it.
Good doggy. Okay, so I gotta ask, why a Fiesta ST instead of a Fiat 500 Abarth, a Mini, a BRZ, really any small sport compact?
And I'll be honest with you, whenever I was looking around for different cars, I looked at all those cars that you named, along with like the WRX and a couple other ones that were in that same wheelhouse. And man, I drove this. I drove the Focus. This thing was a little bit more manic and kind of fun to me whenever I drove it, and I really liked it. I liked that it had 4 doors. I could fit just about anything in the back. My dog comes with me. And the price was, really, really good, and I couldn't really pass it up. I bought it with about 6,000 miles on it. So it was a little bit used, but I'd really dropped the price on it to where it made a lot of sense for me to go ahead and pick one of these up other than something brand new.
These start at about 21 now.
Yeah, I think this one, it still had the old sticker in it. I might actually be able to find it if I look around a little bit. But I think it was like 23, almost 24 or something like that. I got it for, under 17. So it was a pretty good deal. And I like the car. I've driven it to Tennessee and did about a 2,000 mile road trip with it. Went to the Dragon and had a lot of fun there with it loaded with all of our camping gear and everything. Then we went to the Appalachian Trail and it did wonderful. It was awesome.
So it's actually a surprisingly good road trip car?
Oh yeah, other than just being a little bit stiff and a little bit bumpy, which could probably be fixed with a little bit of suspension tuning and stuff like that. It's a great road trip car. It's about, no matter what it unlocks, it's about 28, 29 miles to the gallon. And still handles really well, and whenever you get on it, it gets on it and it goes. And turbo, bro.
Turbo, bro?
Turbo.
And what's the sweet spot for the turbo? When do you get some pulling?
It starts pulling, I think, around like 25, maybe a little bit lower, right? And it kicks in right there, and you feel that wave, and I guess it's more mid-range than it is top end, because at the top end it kind of feels like it dies a little bit, but that mid-range feels really good coming in. It's something that you use more in the street than you do anywhere else. On a racetrack and stuff like that, I'm sure you would want more top end, but in the twisties and stuff like that, that mid-range comes in handy a lot, and in autocross.
Okay, this is one of the first turbo cars I've ever driven. What would you say someone needs to know when they first start driving a sort of mild turbo like this? Because it's a turbo, but it's only a 1.6 liter, so it's not, one of those big gulping turbos like on, say, a WRX STI or something. What's something you need to know before you jump into turbo ownership?
Well, with this one, it's pretty easy. You just kind of get in it and you know where it's going to come in. It does get a little bit hot sometimes whenever it's we're in Louisiana where it gets to 105 ambient temperature, during the summer, and you kind of have to watch it with that, with the stock intercooler and stock radiator. It can get a little bit hot, and multiple runs aren't good over and over and over. So you kind of have to watch the temperature gauge on those really hot days. But other than that, it does great. You don't have to really maintain it any differently. You don't have to, with this, because it's got, I guess, not crazy amounts of horsepower. You don't have to worry about it, kicking in and you going into a tree or, something like that whenever the boost goes on. So really great car. I'd really love to start modifying it, but
that was going to be my next question. What's on the agenda for as far as modifications go?
As it goes right now, I'm kind of in between wanting to modify for H class or just going ahead and going crazy, because I like to do more track days with it and go out to the SCCA track nights. And one thing that I would like to do is kind of upgrade the radiator and the intercooler and the charge pipes to help out with that. Like we're talking about the heat that was getting into it.
Right.
Because I do know that these vehicles have like an overboost function to make a little bit more horsepower. I believe it's like 15 seconds where it gets more horsepower and torque. And I think that's where it's coming in, where that heat's getting into the coolant and heating it up. I have heard of like oil coolers doing really well at dropping temperatures, so that might be another thing that I'm looking at. So right now it's kind of deal with the issue that I'm having with the high temperatures, and then it'll move out to suspension work. Hopefully get a good set of spring shocks or maybe even coilovers, depending on what I decide to what class I decide to run in. And then wheels and tires are going to be a big one for me too. Some lighter wheels and some Hoosier Stones, as we like to call them.
Hoosier Stones.
And the RE71s would be great for the autocross. But and exhaust, I kind of want to delete the resonator and the mufflers on the exhaust, kind of give it a little bit of sound. But and hopefully pick up a few horsepower in the process. But other than that, it kind of depends on where the direction I decide to go with it. So whether I want to stay with autocross or if I want to go for bigger tracks, that's going to be the deciding factor. As far as the ST goes, I mean, obviously it's the darling of a lot of automotive journalists, and that's kind of why I even took a look at it. And it really doesn't disappoint as far as a really practical car that is still a ton of fun and just so good to drive, and you can always get lift-off oversteer with it, which you'll see it's just a ton of fun to get out there and you can kind of slide it around, and it's very manageable. I'm going to be teaching my girlfriend how to drive a stick in this car.
Awesome.
And I'm going to try to get her to come out and do some autocrosses with it and let her have some fun, and I'm sure she'll pick it up really easy. As you can tell, it's an easy car to drive. Get